having an interaction with LUANO Town Council, and the council is being led by the council secretary, that's Mr. Innocent Mutambo. So here's to you, LUANO Town Council, as they interact with the committee on oversight.
I'm on page 13. We got 13, Chairperson. Just the action taken there. It says management engaged the beneficiaries that have defaulted during the monitoring and subsequently issued demand notices to defaulting, though adhere remain law. Is that English code? Who end there has been very low and end there. Further, management has engaged the CDF loan disbursement bank Zanaco to proceed with reporting all defaulting businesses and their directors to the Credit Reference Bureau with possible blacklisting of the defaulting loan beneficiaries. This is with the view of comparing CDF loan defaulting beneficiaries to repay the funds in full in line with Part 5, Section 5.2.3.2, read together with Appendix F, B, and C of 2022 CDF guidelines. Chairperson, my question here is that in the first place, we have two scenarios here. We have one where the council is demanding, they issue demand notices to the defaulting beneficiaries. Two, they report them to Zanaco to demand payments or recoveries. My question is, Chairperson, these loans, who are the parties to these loans? The CDF loans, who are the parties? What I mean is, who sign on the contract forms? Is it the bank and the beneficiary, or the council and the beneficiaries? That is my first question, sir.
Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. On the agreement is the beneficiary and the bank. The council is a witness. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Mulunda.
Thank you, Chair. The agreement is between the bank and the beneficiaries.
Yes, Chair.
And you are just witnesses.
Yes.
That, sorry.
You should be switching off your mic.
Switch off your mic. So the money now is the bank's money, or is your money as a council?
Honorable Mulunda, once you ask.
So,
Chair, the money is for the constituents.
For the?
Constituents.
What Honorable Mulunda is asking, Council Secretary, is who is responsible for enforcement? Who knows where these beneficiaries live? In short, whose money is this? Is this for the bank or for the council?
Thank you, Chair. The bank is administering. First of all, this money is sent to the council.
By who?
By the government.
Through which institution?
The council, that's the CDF account. It is sent to the CDF account. Then from the CDF account, it is transferred to the empowerment account. And When we are making payment, we instruct the bank to make payment to the approved.
Honorable Mulunda?
Yes, but the chairperson is asking you, whose money is this? Instead of saying it's banky or council, you want to explain. I'll leave that one for him to make a follow-up. Council Secretary, this money, if you are saying it's bank's money, you know that the bank, if it's their money, they ask for quarterly. You are aware of that. Before you answer, just note. Two, when this money comes, which you are saying is maybe bank's money, who identify the beneficiaries? This is not a council through CDF. And you take to the bank because you know the people that you have given. So whose money is this? Who is the right owner of this money? Who is supposed to demand a repayment?
Before you answer, let me add Honorable Mtelo.
Yes, good afternoon. You've answered rightly. The council instructs. So the question there is, who is the owner of the money? The instructor or the instructed? On top of that, how is this loan component of the CDF doing in LUANO?
How is doing? They have said poorly. Recovery is poor. So that one I can help because that's what Honorable Nunda started with. So now answer the other questions.
Thank you, Chair. The money would say it's for the one that is giving instruction. The local authority.
You see, this is a very important and very critical question. No wonder we have a problem. You have been meandering, going around, wanting to put yourselves away from this loan component of the CDF. No wonder the recovery rate is very poor in LUANO. How do you monitor grants? Who monitors grants? CS, may I ask?
Chair, it's the council and the members of the district.
It's the council. On the other side, you are responsible for the grants. You don't want to be responsible for the loans? CS.
Chair, we are making strides in terms of to recover the monies which these loan beneficiaries owe to the council, because it's affecting the future sustainability of the CDF loans. What we have done in our documentation is a roadmap that we have discussed with the bank. The first is we have these defaulting loan beneficiaries reported to CRB. Once they have been reported, there is information also from the bank, though not yet revealed, that some people do get these loans.
You have a copy of the report to CRB?
Not yet, but we've written to the bank.
Do you have the evidence?
Yes,
to show that you have repeated for cutting you short? CRB is a final or last option when one has completely defaulted. In terms of enforcement and encouraging people to pay, is the duty of the council. Do we have a planner here? It is under the Department of Planning that these people are the ones who monitor who got. The people who took the list to the bank is the council. The bank participate in identifying the people, the beneficiaries for these loans? That is what honorable members are asking. You are the ones who took to the bank. Bank, the money you are keeping in our accounts, can you pay this? The bank will come and do with the financial literacy issues to train them how to manage their businesses and encourage them that business should earn some profit and pay back. And when they are paying back, they are not paying into the bank, they are paying into the revolving fund that is managed by yourselves. Am I correct?
Yes, Chair.
But why were you economical with the truth by not answering to what Honorable Mlonda and Honorable Mutelo was asking? That's why I said, no wonder we have a problem across all the councils. You need an orientation to be told this. When the instructions at the beginning was that you people administer these loans and these people should pay, you have heard the head of state. Everyone should pay, and yet you have the poorest recovery rate in LUANO. Honorable.
Just a short one. I just wanted to show the CS that the money belongs to you. CS, are you still refusing that the money is not your money?
See, our money.
It's your money. Switch off. You know, I want to show you that what makes me believe that it's your money. When the beneficiaries do their business and then they pay, they bring the money into the revolving fund account. Who identifies? Does the bank just advertise and give other people? Who identifies people on that, on the repayments once we have the money in the account? It's not you. What I mean is, here are the beneficiaries paying back, and then you have maybe 200,000 out of payments that they are making. Can the bank find beneficiaries outside there without you advertising? You identify people to get that same money, isn't it?
Yes, Honor.
So, Chairperson, I just like you labored yesterday. All the councils now on the CDF, we have seen every council that appears wants to hide behind the bank, wants to say, no, it's the bank to do that. But they are the one that carries the beneficiaries. Thank you, Chairperson. At least that one is clear.
Given chance to submit for any possible changes to the CDF guidelines, would you suggest the loan component to go on or maybe be changed to some other fields?
Thank you, Chair. Looking at how the loan component is performing, clearly it needs some modifications. The intentions of government are very well, but the name that it carries, that this is government money. So there's, in terms of beneficiaries, they have that understanding. They treat it the same. They treat it different from if you get a loan from the bank and if you get a loan from the bank, the government. So that there need to be some modifications on that. Definitely the intentions are very good.
Before you come in, Honorable, me have a different view. Me, I blame councils. I blame you. I blame you totally. The government has given you powers, has given you what to do, employed you as planners to follow up on these people who are being assisted with loans. It is your duty to follow up these people who have obtained loans. It comes from the citizen number one himself, the president, who says, you councils, can you do this? Then you are telling the citizen, no, we can't do it. Why are you there and why are you getting paid? The instructions are very clear. The Minister of Law Government has put, you go and follow these people. The people who screen these beneficiaries are yourselves. Where they live, you know them. And the government is intention to say these people, they need empowerment to get a soft loan to boost their businesses. Well, good intentions. And as employed people, socio-economic planners, and everyone under that department, finance, engineering, mention them. Auditors, can you follow up on this? And the consequences, if someone is not doing that, you can even take that person to another step. Some of them reported to police to recover. Some of them will go and distress upon their properties. And these people, they know once you follow them, they'll start complying. The bank is not involved. But you want to pass your back and you want to say suggestion, no, we can't follow this. The bank is making a mistake. Who is going to give the soft laws to the ordinary citizens? The government itself is giving this through the council. So in short, maybe suggest in the future that you are not the right people. There is another institution that can be used to collect, because this is a well-intended program. To me, sorry, I'm presiding, but I'm telling you, you have lamentably failed as councils on the loan component. We want to see a council that is going to say, as we have done this, people have done A, B, C, D. Honorable Mtelo.
Different question, Chair. Permitted?
Permitted.
Page 2 and 3. Kashivulwa and Kateulwa. These classrooms, blocks. This other one in the valley. On all the two, you are saying the funds allocated to them were insufficient. Both the Director of Works, Procurement, DF, why would you be allocating insufficient funds to Kateula in a valley? You know the challenges. I'm just giving an example. Instead of 100, you give a 20 kwacha. Then you sit to say, no, there are challenges. Meanwhile, you know. And you start phasing out a project, delaying the facility. Why? Chair, in all the two occasions, they are saying insufficient funds. As if CDF has not been enhanced. That's the famous word now. Increased. Why is it that in the midst of plenty, you are still doing this in Iran?
Addition before you respond?
Just the addition. Do we have the direct engineering here? Sorry, Chair, I'm not asking you to respond. I want to hear if you are the one that participated on this two projects that my colleague is asking. If you are there and you are the one that participated there, then what happened to the BOQ that you submitted?
Are you the one who prepared the BOQs?
No, sir. I found already running.
Okay. Procurement?
I found them running.
Council Secretary?
Chair, at the time of approving in CDF, the BOQ was presented as 900.
Were you there?
Yes.
Go to that detail.
Yes.
Planner? Were you there?
Thank you, Chair. No, I was not there.
The Treasurer, were you there?
No, sir. I found them running.
The other officer, were you there?
I was there, Chair.
CS.
Thank you, Chair. At the time of presenting the matters to the CDF committee, the BOQ presented was 900,000 kwacha. The CDF committee allocated 400 kwacha. Do it in phase.
400,000.
Yes. So that is why BOQ, the CDFC committee allocated 400,000.
What was the justification of the committee to allocate less than what was guided to them?
Chair, the committee wanted to attend to a number of uncompleted projects.
Some Bumanza, then Mitete, then Vonga. Follow-up questions.
Thank you, Chair. I think page 1. So maybe is explaining is about first project of 1x3 classroom block at Katetaula. Yes. But here they asked Kashima. Okay. No problem. The reasons actually almost the same.
Then let's have Honorable Mutelo.
In terms of explaining.
Are you continuing, Dr. Manza?
Yes, I'm continuing.
Can you ask the question?
So the question is, like at this Katetaula, you actually phased the construction, phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1, the contract was awarded to Westtech company. I've heard you in terms of justification as to why the CDF, why the BOQ was 900, but it was phased to 400,000 kwacha. Question is, why the delay in the procurement? This contract for phase 1 started on 15th February 2024, and the funding is 2022 funding for phase 1. The project was this Westtech company. The construction, the contract cost was 342,414 kwacha, and 2 months contract. He did his part. Of course, the contract started on 15th February 2024 to 16 April 2024, but the funding is for 2022. Why the delay in the procurement to deprive the people of Katetaula the much desired classroom space for pupils to enjoy the free education that the government has brought in place? Delay. Second one is on the costing. This 400,000 was, as you rightly put it, the CDFC recommended phased approach of construction. So now, this 400 and the contractor bid at 342, which was below the budgeted amount, which was okay. Then, during the construction, there was a change of scope of work, saying there was insufficient funding toward this phase 1 in relation to the bill of quantity. Hence, this led to the readjustment of the scope of work to meet the budget allocated for phase 1. From this statement, what comes first? The design to come up with the scope of work for a project, or what comes first? Is it the design, or just the WDC submit a project to say we want a 1x3 classroom block at Kateula? Then the CDFC just decides the pricing. So what decides the pricing in this matter? Is it the BOQ, the designed BOQ, and the estimated cost that you allocate? Then you guide the CDFC to say this design, the 1x3 here is going to cost so much. So there would not be any change of scope, because so priorities, what it informs the pricing. For with it, you can see now the inconveniences.
Thank you, Doc. You have explained very well. What Doc is saying, phase 1, BOQ the scope of work stipulated, BOQ 400,000. The successive bidder, he bids for the same project at 342. Then before execution, you want to make adjustments to the scope of work to meet his cost.
Chair, I'll respond, but I'll also invite my Director Engineering to beef up on certain details. 400,000 kwacha was allocated to the phase 1. If you take note in my report, the phase 1 at the CDFC committee said that it should reach the war plate. Yes, so this was tendered. Ideally, the completion amount was 900,000. They said, let's do phase 1 up to war plate and let's put 400,000 kwacha. That was tendered, but at the point of bidding, it was observed when it was advertised, it was observed that the bids were way higher for phase 1. That led to the adjustment from war plate level to the window level. And that's where you've seen the bid at 342. That is the cause of that adjustment.
Honorable Member Famitete,
Yes.
before the director comes in.
Yes, you are your body. Yes, you two officers were there. Why, Chair, I'm feeling it for Katetaula? You have indicated that it's very hard to reach this place. Very hard. You couldn't even just give it a first hand. You couldn't, even as CDFC, from 2022. You couldn't. You know that this place is very hard, and there are people who are living there. Chair, as much as we take the word for the council secretary, CDF committee is not here so that we hear their side of story. What if they were here and they equally said, we said let's finish. It's the council that insisted to say let's just allocate 400. By the way, 2022, that's when we had a jump into CDF to 25 million. So where is the issue of resources coming from? Trying to phase away the phases, to say phase 1, phase 2, phase... Now you want... Is this building finished?
Chair,
we shouldn't be working like that. You start a project, finish it.
You get that concern?
Yes, Chair.
This committee is just trying to follow the guidelines. We follow religiously the policy statements that comes from the head of state, from the minister, from government in general, and as guided to us by the terms given to us to follow. But we have a problem with you officers. Laws you cannot recover even when they tell you this is what you are supposed to do. They say you are the technical people. Now you want to pass your back and bring the CDF committee, which is not there. When we send you back to come with the CDF committee, you say this committee is being unfair, sending councils away. But how do you allow this? It's done away with phasing, you still 2022 to 2024. That's when you started the project. Dr. Manza asked. Delayed. Started in 2024. 2022. Where are we taking this country? We shall be visiting your councils in communities to tell them, call the community, this is what your officers are doing. You are failing the people. Honorable.
A short one, Chairperson, on the same. On the 5th September 2022, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development approved the construction of this classroom. 5th September, sir.
2022.
2022. And you as a manager, you found the there to that a classroom block has not been done to date, and it should not be an audit query like that. Councils, you know, whatever you do, you should know that it's not you, but the people out there that are looking for the service. Would you be happy? Now I ask you as principal officer and your management, would all of you be happy if your children were at that school and that school from 2022 is not constructed? Would you be happy?
Would you be happy?
Not at all, Chair.
Why do you do what you do? Bad things. You are moving around, not picking a pay. That's why I always, honorable members, the day that these council secretaries will be part of the CDF committee, they just sit in their offices. They don't mind what these officers do. The CDF committee will meet. And I've said it. Check the day from which the CDF committee makes a decision to the day of implementation. That is where the problem is. Dr. Mwanza.
Thank you, Chair. On the same one, I'll just ask for the Council's way forward. This is a project that was approved, as you heard from Honorable Mulunda, it was approved in 2022. Funding released, and CDFC and the Council, because the Council officers are part of the CDFC, we decided to allocate 900,000 kwacha, but at bidding, however, all those stories. This classroom block, Chair, will only be completed in 2025.
2025?
In May, which is just on paper, 30th of May, 2025, which is just on paper. The contractor for phase 2 is not yet on the ground. Where government availed funding in 2022, and in 2023 they had a chance of even topping up from the CDF of 2023 to speed up the implementation and the finalization of this particular classroom block, which is located in a hard to reach area, wanting to improve educational levels in that area, for people to appreciate the free education. Now 4 years deprived of such kind of
money is in the
benefits. Account. What is your plan? What is your plan on this Katetaula classroom block that should comfort the community based on the story, based on the fact that I know the community did not have such kind of history. The beneficiaries themselves, they didn't have this type of history that monies have been there from 2022, and in 2023 they had a chance to top up. They didn't top up. In fact, they thought about that school in the 2024 budget, where they topped up for phase
2.
Yes, in the 2024
instead of 2023.
Yes, and after topping up for 2024 for phase 2, the contract for phase 2 is being finalized now, where the contractor will complete on paper by 30th of May. So, based on this story, which now the community is aware that it is total negligence from the implementing authorities, what message of comfort plan do you have for Katetaula Primary School? Thank you.
Council Secretary.
Chair, simply put, 30th May, are you sure this classroom block will be done? You've told us that bidders would even not want to go to this place. So I even wonder as to why you would reduce. Because there must be a carrot
Yes.
to entice would-be bidders to go to the hard-to-reach areas. That aside, 30th May, this is April. Are you sure by 30th May this classroom block will be done? And if I had my own way, I would go there on 30th May 2025. If I had my own way,
We
just
should
to
there.
go, and because it could be that they've just written for the sake of this committee.
Thank you. Secretary, take note, we go to Katetaula as we go for a local tour. Whatever terrain we shall reach. We shall reach. Council Secretary, what guarantee is there that 2025, May 30th, this Katetaula Primary School will be completed?
Thank you. Chair, you might need extra information about this place, Katetaula. I know Director Engineering will amplify on that, but this place, December to about March is not accessible.
How many
So-
Decembers have we had from 2022?
Yes, the first challenges were with the procurement. As you can see, the attempts, and that was failing. That's when we had to scale down the scope. But let my engineer give more detail on that.
Before he comes in,
Yes.
Council Secretary, don't have the comfort to do that. You should feel for the Zambians out there. You work there in LUANO. You know the times when the terrain is impassable. This CDF, enhanced CDF, let me take time, honorable members, if you don't know. CDF has been there. CDF has been there before the governments came in. But this particular government of President Hakainde Hichilema said, I want to take the money away from the center to the ordinary people out there who have been deprived, people of Katetaula, so that they can feel that they are part of this country. Go and build health posts for them. Go and give them water. Go and give them schools instead of them learning under a tree. Go and give them desks. Is that not a good thing? Now he has said, you officers, here is the money that we never dreamt of having. That's why this committee is checking, is this money being used properly, reaching to the people that need it? You know the times, you know the terrain of LUANO, you know when to reach there. Yesterday we had a witness who came here to say that this side of the district things are moving because they are closer to Lusaka, the roads are passable. But this other side, because the terrain is bad, the roads are bad, that's why you can't see any progress. A council official, this is what you are doing. And here you are justifying a project. 2022, 2023, nothing. What are you telling? Are you the right people for these jobs? You are segregating the people of Katetaula, they had to reach. Don't get this. I'm not trying to boast. When you come to Chasefu, there's a place called Chinana, a far-off place. This time in Chinana, there is a classroom block which is being completed, done under CDF. Never done before. You'd go to a place called Munchenja. This is far away from the CBD. Those people should feel what their government is doing. I can mention other districts, but you people are neglecting the people of Katetaula. So CS, you are not doing very well. If we had that power as a committee, we can only lament here. If we had those powers, most of you cannot be there. On a fair scale, not being unfair to you, because what you are doing is contrary to the expectation of government. You have no justification to tell us why the people of Katetaula, they have heard that you are giving them a class. So it's not fair. Especially you CS who has been there all that time. What comes to you when you sit in your office? The people who are the ones who should enjoy. Those who are already in the urbanized or civilized areas, they have had the basic, they can sit on a desk. Katetaula should have a desk, should have a new classroom block. So it is quite sad we make us speak like this. We are wondering. You have no passion to save the people of LUANO in fairness. I speak as if I'm winding. Any last comment?
Maybe next question, Chair.
Next question, Honorable.
Yes. Page 4 and 5. This collapsing classroom and the desks, and the 30 desks now taken somewhere else. Were they not damaged? Here is a roof collapsing on desks, and they are okay. You even take them somewhere else. Chair.
Kamushanga Primary School.
The desks, the roof collapses on the desks, and the desks are okay. Not even a single damage. They are now taken to a different school.
So the people of Kamushanga Primary School have no desks because of the environment. You see what I'm just talking about. Failure to utilize school desks at Kamushanga. Honorable member is asking, are they in the right state? The original state, the desks which a roof collapsed on them?
Chair, the correct situation is that before the desks went to that place, it collapsed. So when the contractor was delivering, one classroom block had collapsed. So they were forced to store them in another structure.
What is the state of the desks?
The state of the desk is okay, and now they are being used in another school.
By the time you construct at Kamushanga, is it
Kamchanga.
Kamushanga, by the time you construct, is it one of those earmarked to benefit from a classroom block?
Chair, we have done one benefit structure.
Other 1x3 is already desks.
Yes.
So these are extra desks.
Yes, we procured 90 for them, so they have 60.
They're using 60?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm okay. The collapse, so the desks, so the roof before the desks reached.
Dr. Manza?
Page 9. We do a bit of some financial mathematics. Page 9 is showing the ledger under community project. So the amount received was 2,279,546. In the financial year under review, 1,178,620 was spent. So the balance as at 31st of December 2023 is 13,100,920. So the unspent was 92%. Then the action taken is that you have since spent all the money in 2024. And if we look at the table under page 9, The unspent funds is 13,100,926. So the expenditure to date, why the unspent and the expenditure to date is not equal? Because you have committed all the funds to 2024. The second one now is the ledger. You have given a ledger which is in Appendix 5. So Appendix 5 is showing how the 13,100,926 is spent. And this addendum that you have given us is showing, if you go to the total, is 13 million. So there's still that problem of the two figures not reconciling. So want that explanation. Then the second one is, from this table it shows that the whole 2023 allocation of the capital projects, you did projects worth 1,178,620. So the balance is the fund that was committed for 20 projects that were executed in 2024. As confirmed by the ledger that you have provided, to account for the 13 million plus, the expenditure starts in January 2024, and you are spending all the way up to June, up to December, I think, the last column, which is... The question I have here is, I tried to reconcile the ledger in terms of the projects that you have with the submission under this very booklet of appendix. I just sampled one project, the mortuary. The mortuary is on Appendix 5, I think, the mortuary at Odimkush. There are no pages, but I think the first 3 pages of the submission. This is at today, and the price was 475,983. But it is not amongst the projects that are in the general ledger. I look at the date of payment, 6 August 2024. When I look in this ledger, 6 August 2024, the project which is here is totally different. Advance payment for construction of staff house at some place. Also, the same 6 August, you made 2 payments to Kamema Trading Limited, advance payment for supply of fuel, Bowser, and so on. So, this summary of the ledger, as compared to the projects that have been executed, they do not reconcile. Some projects are not listed on this general ledger. Where did you get the funding to fund those projects in each particular year? And the completion certificates, inside your main submission, you've indicated so many projects completed, above 20. Something like this. Okay, some are very small projects, but it doesn't matter. But as long as it was a CDF-funded project, is complete, and there's need for all the paperwork of completion certificates. The completion certificates are only 13 of them, against more than 20 projects that you have indicated as complete.
You can refer to your officers to help you if you see the need.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, under the year 2023, if you check our projects, the bulk of them was supply of school desks. So we did a lot of school desks. We had about 7,900. And like the fuel Bowser Like the fuel Bowser you refer to, that is under the year 2024, which is Auditor General's yet to audit. So there we are highlighting the 2023 and 2020, those that came from 2022. However,
Let me ask Dr. Mwanza to...
Let's move together, with your indulgence, Chair. Your main submission on page
Your
9.
mics, yes, your mics.
On
yes.
page 9. Let's move together. On page 9.
Let's go to page 9.
Page 9, you have two tables, which is showing an accountability of the monies for 2023 that were earmarked to be spent under community projects, right? So the total amount was 14,279,546. And during the period under review, you only spent 1,178,620. I don't care about the projects which you spent on. We're just talking about financial accounting. So this is the total amount of money that you spent under this fiscal year. And so the balance is just what you received, subtract what you spent in that particular year. And these monies have been spent on projects that are being executed in 2024, but with the funding from 2023. Are we together? So, what you're explaining about the desks were only supplied in 2024, correctly, with this ledger. This ledger shows the bulk of the expenditure on desks. So, my question is that the projects that are accounting for the balance brought forward from 2023 but spent in 2024, there are some projects that are shown as executed in 2024, but they are not on this ledger. I gave an example of the mortuary. In fact, there's another one that I've seen here. I gave an example of the mortuary, and it is constructed by Kamema Trading. So, and the dates for payment, 6 August 2024. Then I check Kamema Trading, the 6 August 2024. There's just another project which is not on this particular ledger.
CS.
Thank you, Chair. Just want to ask Director of Finance to chip in.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, maybe if you can clarify further on the project. Okay. Yes, sir.
We are dealing with the audit for financial year 2023, right? So any monies that have been spent within the financial year, January to December in 2023, these are the monies that we are quizzing here, right? So you have provided a ledger to account for the community projects component, to say under 2023 we had a total of 14 million kwacha as towards funding for community projects, and within the fiscal year of 2023 you spent 1 million kwacha as detailed in your presentation here on page 9. You spent 1,178,670. So the balance of 13 million are like carried forward funds to 2024.
As unspent funds.
As unspent funds.
Committed to projects already.
Yes, committed to projects that were supposed to be executed in 2023. So it is confirmed here in this ledger. You are now accounting for the 13 million that was brought forward from 2023 but utilized in 2024. In this project ledger, you are accounting for the expenditure. As the CS rightly put it, major expense is on desks. The first, I think, 13 columns is all about desks. Then there are some projects like advance payment for construction of the bridge, also staff house, waterborne toilets, okay. So, now, there are some projects that were approved in 2023, like this mortuary, and it is not part of
the ledger.
the ledger.
Chair, thank you. Maybe I take the honorable member to Appendix 7 in the main report, Appendix 7.
Okay. Yes, we are there.
On the Appendix 7, that's where we approved in 2023. Chair, number 1, be the
First page.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. There was a procurement of desk which was amounting to 10,050,000.
Mm-hmm.
This is complete. There was also maintenance of Masasa Old Mukushu Road, 500,000. This is complete. There was also a deep tank at Kaundula. This was complete, Chair. There was also an ambulance which was supposed to be procured centrally. There was also a police vehicle. This one was procured centrally. It has been delivered, Chair. There is also construction of Chief Mboloma's Palace. This one, it's still underway. And the construction of Mabonzo Bridge, completion, this phase was completed. Chair, these are the projects which were in 2023.
So when you add the total there,
Yes.
it is more than 13 million. Because if you look at the 10 million on top, you just pick the other 3 million for construction of Chief Mboloma's Palace, which is already 13.5 or 13.6, and add the 2 million, which is ambulance and a police vehicle, 2.5 to the 13 million, you have 15 or 16. It's more than that, 17, 20. So the question from Dr. Mwanza. Okay.
Simple, this question.
Okay, let me ask you, Honorable Mulunda, to come in.
Director of Finance, I think we want to ask you specific questions. Number 1, have you constructed a mortuary?
Yes, Chair.
Wait.
Then the second question is, from which fund? And why is it missing on your ledger?
Okay.
Any one of you can pick it up.
Thank you very much. The first phase for construction of the mortuary was funded under 22 correctly, but the second phase was funded from a variation. Under 2023, it was varied from another component of CDF for completion.
So, from the ledger, which Dr. Mwanza, the member of this committee, is the mortuary is not there. Appendix 7, which has been referred by the treasurer, it is not even there. So, we are on firm ground to question.
With your indulgence, Director of Works, thank you for the first manner in LUANO, but this you must end. We are happy the mortuary is finished. CDF, which component? Why is it not here? Simple.
Director of Works,
Thank you
you
very
just
much.
said another component.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, Chair. I think there was a sitting that was constituted under CDF, in which there were buried some monies towards the completion of the projects that were pending. I think
Hear you. Where is it
In our report.
in our
or
report so that we write there?
Chair, maybe I would request that for the actual minutes for when the minutes the city project was varied, if we can maybe confer back to you and give you the correct date. But for the for the why it's not appearing in the ledgers, maybe Director Finance can assist us.
It is not only the minutes. The entire report is missing. You see, what are we going to pick to write there? That's what Honorable Mutero is asking. Because what Dr. Mwanza asked, some of the projects that you purport to have undertaken, they are not on the ledger, not even in the other ledger on the Appendix 7, but they were done. So, did you go through this report? How do we? The Appendix 7 is giving more than 18 to 20 million. Having the projects cited there under community project, they are costing more than, I can say, close to 20 million. But the monies carried forward from 2023 to 2024 was 13 million. And this is what is being asked. How do you account the 13 million? Which were the projects which were earmarked to be done under with the 13 million? Just there. The other projects for 2024, they are not a concern to this committee. We want to know. Because that money was committed money. To which projects? We want to learn from you. Honorable Mutero.
Chair, for progress' sake, let's just take note and move to another question, because the CS and his team, we are still looking at each other.
Dr. Mwanza.
Probably, I think we are together that 13 million from 2023 are the funds that will appear in the audit for 2024 as brought forward. Are we together there? And am I correct? So the ledger here is showing expenditure incurred in 2024, but explaining the funding from 2023, of which even you could have the bulkiness of this report couldn't have been like this, because you would have just simply explained to say, because now we are looking at 2023 only. So the capital projects that you did not spend on, you should have just summarized by this, by on page 9, to say 2023 we have 13 million unspent, but it will be, they would appear in a 2024 audit. So the whole of this encyclopedia wouldn't be there. It just explain the 1,179,000 kwacha that you spent under this, under the 2023 fiscal year. The question is, why do you labor to explain expenditure that was funded under 2023 but spent in 2024? When we are going to audit 2024, what are we going to talk about?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair.
As we wind up.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, it's a view of management that when we come to this House, when we have been queried on a certain project, that even as we are responding, because that was as at the 1st of December 2023, that we finish this committee the status today on where we are with this project. And that's why we went further to give where we are with these projects, that they are complete.
Failing to spend CDF money.
Page 6, Chief Imboloma.
Page 6.
Chief Imboloma. You've taken us to say there's a letter on Ledger 4, Appendix 4, letter from Zambia Collectional Service. It's not there. But that aside, is it here in maybe in, you know, Chair, sometimes they come with evidence in the pockets. So here, I'm only seeing one here. You have two in your report, Director of Works. Yes. So where is the letter from Zambia Collectional Service? We want this palace for Chief Mboloma done like yesterday, so that our chiefs will live in decent places. The more we delay, having come with this from again 2023, the prices will, you will not use the 900 to be more than that. Yes. You wouldn't want Chief Mboloma to live in a decent house?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. We definitely would want our chief to live in a very decent house. Chair, however, the situation that the royal establishment really wanted this palace to be in the area where they wanted. But the circumstances which are there right now, even the contractor is unable to access the site. And that took a long time because they really wanted it to be there. So they've actually been compelled to move it where it is accessible.
Chair, we've now moved to where it's accessible. Yes?
Yes, yes, Chair.
Have works started?
No, Chair, the works have not yet started. Yes, but as noted in Appendix 4, we wrote a letter through the Department of Road Development on 25th February to the Zambia Correctional Services to inform them of the change of location. And last week we tried to communicate with them over the same, but there's not been any response. But we usually have monthly meetings for all the chiefs passes. So we're having the next one on 16th, of which ZCS is part of those meetings. So we're hoping at this meeting they will be able to justify to us as why they're not yet mobilized despite the site being changed. But our provincial coordinator has been in touch with them.
So just which February was that? Just is it this February?
Yes.
So the whole of 2020 it was 2023. The whole of 2024 we are trying to shift to new site.
Yes, Chair. The contracts for the chiefs' palaces were signed in.
LUANO Council, this is a bad report. It's quite disappointing. Looking at the way you are managing the council, it's very sad. The Zambian people, the people of LUANO, expect their government to provide the much needed services. Basic and essential services, good health centers, a mortuary included, good classroom blocks, desks, teachers' houses, chiefs' palaces, very good intentions of government. And they give the money. LUANO Council fails to utilize 13 million for the year 2023. Reasons best known to yourselves. The people of Kateula, in the remotest part of Zambia, their government says we want the money to reach them. It has taken 4 years. Up to now, the classroom block cannot be done. Auditors come there, they find these are the weaknesses. Auditors will do their part to highlight all these omissions. In the olden days, people would say the government is not caring for its citizens. Meaning even those in Kateula, in the remotest parts of this country, who cannot have a good road, the government says go and do the road, go and do a primary school. But the management at the council is failing the people of Luano, failing the people of Zambia, and failing the government. Council secretary, it's an indictment on your leadership. You can't explain this. And it should not be business as usual. Who is supposed to do it? Every year you come in to come and appear like this. This committee will interrogate this. Should we continue like this? Where is the capacity? When you report for work, what did you tell yourselves to go and do? There is money sitting there. You can't utilize it. Projects are delayed. Even the reporting, you can't even report for the year 2023 which projects were carried over. Now imagine 13 million. Again in 2023, in 2024, you had how much? 30.1 million, isn't it? As CDF allocation. If you get the community development component about 16 million plus 13 million, you had the 30 million. If you failed to use the 13 million, how possible is that in 2024 you manage to implement projects worth 30 plus million? Just community projects, no bursaries, nothing. How do you rate your management? These are the issues. So it's quite sad. This is what we can do as a committee. We shall make recommendations. We shall make serious individual recommendations. We want this part of the country to change. No wonder there are people who are talking negative because of officers yourselves. If you can't apply yourselves, there is no sense of urgency. You can't move in the new dawn or new era. Governments come, governments change. There will be another one which will come. You as officers, your role is to move in, fit, change from the past. This government wants you to utilize the monies. Money is finished. No wonder the government is thinking, is sometimes mopping up the money. How do you keep 30 million? The bank is making interest on it. We have complained, we don't want that money to be mopped. But in such circumstances, sometimes the government can start justifying. We don't want that. But you officers are not doing the correct thing. We can talk and talk and talk. We are disappointed as a committee with your management at LUANO Council. Go and do the correct things. Go and do the correct things for LUANO to change. Those people out there in Kateula, they are Zambians. From 1964, they have never seen a classroom block. You are denying them now that the government has given them money. That will not be tolerated. We shall make individual recommendations and the general recommendations of what we have observed. We have taken note. With that said, I would like to withdraw the immunity that has the area conferred on you on behalf of the committee. From now on, you are on your own. We wish you well as you go back. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair.
It's a lovely afternoon. We'd like to thank you for your viewership. That's LUANO Town Council making an appearance before the Committee on Local Government Accounts, and it was being led by Mr. Innocent Mutambo, who is the Council Secretary. Remember, the Committee on Local Government Accounts is considering the report of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. And so far, 2 witnesses have appeared before the committee. In the morning, we did have Chilawombe Town Council, and of course, it was followed by LUANO Town Council. And so we're standing by for the next Town Council to make an appearance before the committee, and this is Chisamba Town Council. So I would urge you to stay tuned right here on Parliament Television.